Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Name the dog, Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is the man who loves Cleveland. It's Frank. How are you today?
I find it soothing.
I mean, I would assume it seems lovely.
It is. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
And I liked the Drew Carey show. Did you like the Drew Carey show?
I didn't watch it much, but what I have seen, I've liked a lot. Yeah.
I watched it a lot as a kid, and I feel like I didn't get 90% of it, but
Sure.
I liked the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So, all good. Frank, anyway, we're here on Beer with Geeks,
Yeah.
and we talk about geeky things, and we drink beer at the same time, but not with liquid in our mouths. We swallow, and then we say
Preferably, yes. Yeah.
yes, you're right. What are you drinking tonight?
Well, I've got a Sam Adams Blueberry Lager. This is new this year in their
Yeah.
summer variety pack, and it's delicious. It's great.
They don't usually have a blueberry at all, right?
No, this is new. This is a new
Brand
flavor.
completely not
Yeah.
just with the variety. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, yeah. It does it right on the can. I wasn't paying attention.
It does, yeah. Summer means it's Sam season, bursting with bold blueberry aroma. This refreshing lager is your perfect cooler companion for every sunny adventure. And it is. It is lovely. It's very delicious. It is a very good session, not ale lager, and it's got a nice hint of blueberry. It's not overpowering, not too sweet. You don't feel like you're drinking like juice.
Yep, that's good. Sometimes when I have a blueberry, it feels heavy, and then it hits your mouth like you haven't brushed your teeth in a while.
This feels like you got a little squeeze of blueberry in there for flavor, and it's nice.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
nice.
What are you enjoying today?
I am enjoying a new Grist Pilsner-Style beer from Lakefront Brewery.
Ooh.
It is a gluten-free beer.
Mm-hmm.
It is made with water, rice, sorghum, hops, malted millet, and yeast, which is funny because that would be the gluten, but I guess it's removed.
Yeah, I
Gluten,
guess.
so
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. But it's really good. It's I didn't leave it in the fridge long enough, so it's a little warm.
Okay.
But that's okay. But I'm still enjoying it. I
Nice.
just feel like I'm in Europe.
There
It's
you
okay.
go. Nice.
It is very light. This one, some gluten-free beers you can't tell. This one I can tell.
Yeah.
I can tell that the gluten has been removed because it's very liquidy.
Gotcha.
Very slippery in my mouth. I don't know how to describe it.
Is it
But
more watery or
Maybe it's more watery than I anticipated. Definitely not as carbonated as I would have.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And the carbonation is there. It tingles. But that might be because it's warm. And
Yeah,
so,
sure. Maybe if it was colder, it wouldn't be as much.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have I think it's a 4-pack or a 6-pack. So I will be
Nice.
drinking it again, and I will report back when the beer is actually cold.
Cool. Cool.
Mhm.
Well, it sounds promising. You've been on quite the kick of new to me gluten-free beers lately.
Well, I don't want to keep drinking the same ones over again,
Sure.
just for one variety on the show.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I want to find the one that works for me.
Sure.
Because my gluten intolerance is fairly low, but
Mhm.
it's one thing to have one beer, but then maybe you go out, or maybe you have you had
Yes.
pasta at a restaurant or whatever. So all of a sudden it adds up.
Right.
So I'm doing what I can where I can. Yeah, but this one's okay. It's pretty good. Lakefront Brewery is in Wisconsin. Just so we're clear.
Okay.
I've never been there, but I know people from there. Does that count?
It counts for
knowing someone, right? Yeah.
Anecdote points, I guess. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Good enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I have anecdotes. I have many anecdotes to share
here. So I doubt this is the first episode for people, in case this just happens to be the top one. But just so you know, Frank was in Cleveland recently for a House of L podcast episode that included comic writers Michael Bendis, and what do you write?
A whole bunch of others. Yeah.
A whole bunch of others. Yeah.
So we had. I should probably pull it out. I'm going to use my one lookup on my own just so I don't
miss anybody.
I don't miss anybody's name. Yeah. But we had a whole bunch of Superman comic book writers who came out. This was all with the Siegel and Shuster Society, so the organization run by it's a nonprofit run by the families of the creators of Superman, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Their descendants run the society, and they have been trying to raise funds to build a statue in Cleveland of Jerry and Joe, and a statue of Superman as well. They're going to have this whole plaza. In fact, there's also going to be a phone booth that people can pick photos in, which is kind of fun.
That's cool.
There's like just phone booth just for.
So it's not just a set. They want like a
little plaza.
A plaza.
Yeah.
That is no wonder it's tough to raise money.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've been working on this for a while, and so they were helping to coordinate a bunch of events throughout the weekend, the opening weekend of the movie, across the city of Cleveland. So Siegel and Schuster are from Cleveland. They created Superman there, and the movie was a lot of the exteriors were shot there for the new Superman film. So lots of reasons to want to be in Cleveland to celebrate this movie. And we benefited from that in, we were invited to host a live podcast after a screening of the film, which was really fun to get to help with that. Bendis was sort of the headliner, but we also had Philip Kennedy Johnson, Andrew Iden, Grace Ellis, Sina Grace, and illustrator John G., who illustrated this poster behind me that is an exclusive for the event, which was cool. We had some great comic book talent up there, and Bendis sort of took the mic and sort of started interviewing his colleagues there about what they thought about the film, and it was kind of a fun conversation that went in a different direction than we thought it would, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. But while we were there, we got to do a ton of fun sightseeing, Metropolis, Cleveland is Metropolis in this movie, and so much of like the big kaiju fight, all of the any exteriors of Metropolis, the exterior of the Daily Planet, all those things are within a couple of blocks of one another. The building that Superman and Mr. Terrific are looking at, the crack not being totally aligned, that's the Cleveland Public Library.
Is there really a crack there?
There's not really a crack there, but Bendis was joking, like, I feel like that's going to be the new selfie you have to do when you go to Cleveland, is like to go in front of that building and like recreate the photo, which we did. Of course did. Yep. Yeah. The arcade, so that place where the big flying shot of them flying upwards is a real place, and in fact it was a place that Jerry and Joe probably went to a lot. It's the nation's first indoor shopping mall.
Cool.
Fun fact.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they probably went there a lot for all sorts of various reasons. Michael Bendis told us that he used to work at a comic book shop that was in that arcade. So that's cool.
Is he from Cleveland?
He's from Cleveland. He's a hometown boy.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a hometown boy. So that was cool. But yeah, I got to have dinner with a bunch of the comic creators afterwards. Hosted a panel. Derek and I hosted a panel with Philip Kennedy Johnson where we talked about his run on Action Comics, but also like his sort of philosophy on Superman and what he liked about the new film, what jived for him. I got to ask him a little bit about his work, and sort of what perspective writing for Superman gave him, and sort of how how he brought that perspective to watching the movie. Yeah, we had a real good time. Bunch of friends. There were 8 of us from the House of L who were all there, and we hung out. We got there on Thursday. We saw the movie twice that night, back to back.
What was that like?
A lot. It was fun. I'd only seen it the once, right, at the Prime screening. I had not seen it in IMAX, so I got to see it twice in IMAX that night.
Cool.
And that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun, and it's like then I saw it a fourth time when we hosted that screening that we had the podcast after. So I've seen it 4 times now.
You're like done watching it for
a minute. Yeah. You know, like I have it memorized at this point. I saw it 4 times in a week. Like it's, I from Tuesday to Saturday, I saw it 4 times.
I listened to the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, the spoiler special with James Gunn, and they talked about the 12-minute interview scene between Lois and Clark. And, you know, it's kind of, I didn't think of it in the time, but it is kind of a daring move in a general superhero movie to have 12 minutes of talking, which I love because we always say that that some of the best superhero material is when they actually get to unpack what they do, as opposed to just doing it,
just punching.
But he said that was my favorite scene if I hadn't seen it so many times by now, and I actually thought of you, like, having watched it so much in a row, like. But I'm glad that you still like it.
I still like it. I mean, I'm
in 72 hours.
I don't know if I'm going to see it in a theater again while it's probably maybe one more while it's still in theaters, but like, you know, certainly once it makes the home video release, I'll be sort of studying it even more. But like, I feel like having seen it so much, I feel like I have more to say this episode than I did on our last episode, our initial review with Vactor, because that time both of us had only seen it just the once. I think he had seen it twice, but so, you know, now having seen it, and you've seen it a second time now since, right?
I've seen it twice.
You've seen it twice.
I would like to see it again.
Yeah.
I haven't put on my I guess I haven't put on my English teacher brain for it yet. I've just kind of watched it as, like, the first time I almost passively watched it to absorb everything, and then the second time to just watch the movie without expectation, just see it, and so I'd like to watch it again to start, like, analyzing it. You know, like you spoke about how the film starts with him in a fetal position, you know, and then he's kind of reborn, and that's like the start of it.
It's like, you know, the Superman 78, like he goes to the fortress to learn, right? Like it's very much like that. He goes there to get recharged and then go out and he's Superman.
Right.
And that's sort of, we got a mini version of that at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, and that's great. Someone pointed out to me, I wish I could take credit for this, that it's like Lex's, like, prison is like the River Styx. It's basically Hades. You have to, like, go on the boat with the ferryman, and then you're trapped there, and that's deep
good
under and all that stuff. Like, great. I just like I kind of like, okay, so if that's there, like, what else is there? And so I need to put on the brain to now watch it again to think about it, because he's obviously James Gunn is well read, he's well thought, so he is thinking of these things, and obviously he's doing Superman as not just man but mythos, and so I want to see them. The movie is obviously the 12 feats of Hercules, like, right, that all-star style, but without, you know, 12 of them necessarily. But what else was I missing? So I need to see it again.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of things, you know, there's a lot of small things to pick up on, right? Like that's what you start to notice, like, are little things that start to present themselves after a couple of viewings. Like even just, I think you pointed out to me about there being a chessboard in Clark's childhood bedroom. And how that is where the movie turns around, like that is the turning point of the story. And so I love your analysis on that, of that, like, Lex is calling out chess moves essentially. And in fact, I was talking with my buddy Derek, and he was looking at it as battleship, as, like, you know, calling out coordinates. And after, you know, he's now seen it 9 times.
Holy
golly, what? Yeah, he's now seen it 9 times. After about his, like, 4th or 5th, he was like, I'm getting kind of tired of the battleship thing. And I was like, okay, but Tim gave me this. Like, look at it as chess instead, and think about it that way, and think about
Maybe he's just tired of it because he's seen it 9 times.
Yeah, 9 times is
in 2 weeks. Movie's not even been out. 2
it
weeks.
hasn't been out 2 weeks. Yeah.
Good for him though. I mean, like, he loves Superman. Like,
oh yeah. He got to go to the premiere in LA. He got to he got to do all, like, he got to do a lot of great stuff with this.
Great.
Very, very fun. But yeah, I gave him that perspective after, I think it was like between the 2 screenings we saw on the same night. And after the second one of that night, he was like, okay, I liked it. I looked at it through that lens, and I liked that lens better than Battleship. I think that's, and I was like, yeah, I think that's
right, because it's reciprocal.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, it's something that Clark can then, in a weird way, do back.
Right, right.
That's,
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it the most. But again, there's like other stuff that I'm definitely missing that just happened to be my eye like went to.
Yeah, right.
Like other like little things though, like how Lois's apartment is clearly lived in.
Yes.
And Clark isn't.
Is not.
I think it's fascinating. Like, because you don't explore his apartment because there is nothing in there. But what I guess I dislike about that is that he, like, Clark Kent is then he's not a real person. Then he is the facade to then get to Superman if he's not even living in his own apartment, or he just doesn't have the time to live in his own space.
I mean, I definitely think that James Gunn's take on Superman is that Clark is the real guy and Superman is the
for sure
is the costume.
Yeah.
And like, really, we saw most of the film. There's only one scene of Clark at the Daily Planet in glasses. There's just the one scene, and the rest of the movie, he is in his Superman costume any other time, except for when he's at the Kent farm.
Wild. Like how much he's just Superman in the movie.
Yeah.
I think he's more Superman in the movie than most superheroes are ever.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, it's pretty wild.
For most of the movie, he is Clark in the Superman costume. You know what I mean? Like, he's just Clark because he's with people who know who he is for, with the Justice Gang or with Lois or what have you. So he spends a majority of the movie just as Clark, but hanging out in his costume. Yep. And then, he sort of becomes Superman when people that don't know him are around. But it is like, I didn't really fully clock that. I didn't clock the first time either. No shirt rip. We didn't get a shirt rip in this movie.
No, and he also
James Gunn.
He never speaks to Jimmy either, which I also note. Like,
Superman never speaks to Jimmy.
Superman and Jimmy.
That's true. That's true. They don't. Yeah,
together.
That's right.
But I didn't clock the shirt rip. But also, like, I wouldn't expect him to be wearing that suit under his clothes.
I know. And James Gunn has apparently said that he doesn't wear it under his clothes, his street clothes.
He would obviously be Superman.
Yeah, I guess. I'd be willing to suspend that disbelief, but I get it. I was, my first thinking was like, oh, it's the collar, right? Because the collar's too high. But then as I looked at it, I was like, no, the collar's not too high. He could definitely wear a shirt over that, and it would hide it. But whatever.
Yeah, he'd be weirdly bulky and misshapen.
It would be bulky. But like then again, all Superman costumes would be like Brandon Routh's would have been too, but he got a short rip. I don't know.
Good point.
That's why I'm like, it's just really. But even so, I would have loved a sort of like a loosening of the tie, or like looking both ways before he steps into a closet or something. Like one of those things. Just sort of a hat tip to it, even if not showing it. Sure. I mean, you want to like maybe the Fleischer cartoons. There's the thing of like his silhouette in a window, like in a closet that has a window on the door, and like you just see the silhouette as he changes and comes out as Superman. Like that could have been a fun thing to play on. I would love to see that in a future movie, like see some hint to.
Where does he keep the suit?
Yeah, I mean, yes, and just some hint to him changing and this is a job for Superman kind of moment. Could be a lot of fun. I mean, there could have been and this could have been really cheesy, but like, because this movie does play so much with like the Silver Age sensibility and the silly side of DC, like he literally could have said, "This is a job for Superman." Maybe not in a in a Max Fleischer kind of way, but he could have been like, there could have been a moment of like, this is a job for Superman. I don't know, whatever.
Pre-kaiju, great.
Pre-kaiju, there you go. Yeah, sure, great. Sure. Yes. So who knows? We may see things like that in future films. James Gunn has said that the next time we see Superman will not be in a Superman sequel. So I wonder if that just means he's going to be in Supergirl, or
yeah, he said less than he said less than 2 years before Superman returns. Supergirl comes out in a year, so it would make sense. To see him then. Maybe not Peacemaker, which comes out next month. But yeah, the Supergirl, somewhere in Supergirl makes sense. I'm pretty sure David Corenswet was in London when they were filming Supergirl. So
interesting, yeah. I would find it hard to believe he doesn't make an appearance in that movie, right?
I agree.
She made an appearance in this movie, like it just seems obvious.
It seems very natural.
Obvious. Yeah.
Unless he was in London to film that scene with her.
Which I have heard that speculated that was shot late.
Yep.
That might have been part of reshoots or whatever.
Yeah. Which would make sense. But yeah, but I feel like it could have also gone in that direction too. But either way, James Gunn has explicitly said that it's not World's Finest, like it's not a Batman Superman team up, and it's not necessarily a Superman direct project that we're seeing, but he is a player in whatever's coming. I was maybe thinking that I originally had thought that maybe it was The Authority. I know he had been trying to get that off the ground for a while, and like Superman and The Authority, so it would be the clash of what The Authority wants to do, which is a little bit more hardcore death. They don't care about civilian lives the same way, but I don't know if that's a story that he wants to tell post this story. I don't really know if that's he kind of told that story here a little bit with the Justice Gang.
Yeah.
Like there is this like between the kaiju death and I guess some spoilers for Superman.
Oh yeah. We're past that.
Between the kaiju death and the dictator, like and Hawkgirl specifically being like, well, I'm not Superman. So I don't really know if that is worth exploring more than we have here. I feel like it has been said. But I don't know. What do you think? What are you like hoping for?
One petty little thing I'm hoping for is that they release it in 2028, a sequel, because that will be the 90th anniversary of Superman. Sure. So that feels like something you gotta try and shoot for.
I mean, that's a feasible timeline. It's 2025.
Totally feasible.
He's already writing it.
Yeah.
Takes about 2 years. Like if the writing goes well, it's a 2 to 3 year process to make another movie. So
I think it's totally doable. I think he was working on this one in 2023. So that seems totally doable to shoot for 2020. I got to think that's on their radar, right? And that's something they're thinking about. But it just seems like the perfect sort of layup of just like celebrate 90 years of Superman with another Superman movie. Like this one is already doing so well at the box office that it seems like a shoe-in for a sequel. And obviously they're committed to this whole universe, having this be sort of the beginning of the new universe. So I would love to see. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see it come out that year, just for the fun of it. But really, I would love to see a story. He didn't need to save Lois in this movie, which I'm totally. I loved the reversal, the flipping the script where she saves him. I loved that. I loved that here. I loved how he clocked it right away, right? As like you came to get me. I loved that. I loved Lois saving Superman for a change. At the same time, I would love to see like a little bit more of the classic scenario.
Is it really Lois Lane if she's not in peril?
Right. I would love to see her. get herself into trouble because of her reporter's nose, like leading her there, right? Like the whole thing of like she's so good at her job it gets her in trouble.
True. Well, that's it. I think what is interesting, what you said, is that in that, like, she is so good at her job here, and it does get her into trouble, but not trouble she can't get herself out of.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, which is not typical Lois.
It's not, and that's why I like that they started on that foot, right? Like,
oh, me too. Yeah.
Because then once you've done that, then I feel like then it is, you've opened the door to making it sort of okay to tell the or at least nod to the sort of traditional way, because like we've already seen that she can get herself out of it. She's more than capable, right?
Correct.
We've seen her fly a spaceship. Like we've seen her go convince the Justice Gang to help him. Like we've seen her do all this stuff. And so knowing that she's like, we've seen her badass credentials and we don't have to, showing her in peril would not be a disservice to her at that point. If it were the right kind of peril, of course.
Yeah, I agree.
So that could be a fun thing to see. I would love to. I mean, I feel like Brainiac has been just waiting to be put into a Superman movie for so long.
This version of Superman on the screen is the one that could believe that an alien in a big skull ship shows up and people don't blink an eye. They're like, yeah, that's. I mean, we're gonna blink an eye because it's scary, but like, yeah.
But like, you know, when a dimensional imp is outside and no one knows bat an eye, right? Like they're yeah. But Guy Gardner does try to bat the dimensional imp with a green bat. So there is that.
He does try. He tries things. That's really what Guy Gardner is known for.
Yeah, he tries
doing things. I just recently reread all of Jeff Johns' Superman stories.
Oh, nice.
Sans Secret Origin. I didn't read that one, but I read Legion of Superheroes. I read Brainiac and the Bizarro World one.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, that Brainiac one thematically ties really well with this film.
Yeah.
You know, and Supergirl for that matter, you know, because Supergirl is, you know, people think of Supergirl as the goody one. You know, she can have that reputation from earlier days in comics or the TV show where we did Supergirl TV Talk, all episodes now on, you know, popupleaudio.com. But a lot of times she's the tough one, right?
Yeah.
She's, you know, but because she remembers what it's like to be on Krypton and loses it, and so she obviously has PTSD, you know, in a lot of ways. But she also has it from Brainiac. She has like Brainiac and the destruction of Krypton, and so that's something to explore. You know, in comparison to Clark, who has no connection to know to that world in a lot of ways. And that story also features the death of Pa Kent, which would serve as some kind of emotional hurt after watching him be kind of instrumental in getting Clark up and going in this film. To then to lose that support system would give us some pretty decent stakes and whatever else. So so I would love to see Brainiac.
I would love that. I completely agree. Like it has all the, like, it has the connections to Supergirl. It has all these things that could really could be done very neatly and fit in really nicely. I mean, if we're getting a Lobo story, you know, in the Supergirl movie, could go that direction. It could be like they could stumble upon, although I know it's based on Woman of Tomorrow, so maybe not. But I would love that. I would love some more Clark time. I would love more like Clark at the planet. I would love poor Ron Troop to have even a single line to say in the movie.
Yeah, poor Ron. He really did get slighted so hard.
And then like Cat Grant did get things to say.
They weren't great things.
But she didn't really need... You could have taken her out of the movie and it would have made no difference. So I don't really know why she was there.
She was there to round out the gang.
Yeah, I guess.
Those are... Which I had kind of forgotten that those were all mostly Jeff John recreations, or at least most of them are like bringing back. A lot of them are like brought to the forefront at the beginning.
Yeah, he brought them back. A lot of them, like, other them had been. I mean, because Ron Troop and Steve Lombard are old.
Are old, and Cat Grant is too, but she had, like, disappeared for a while and had come back. So they have that like gang, that core gang, like is a fairly maybe 10 to 15 years back in the comics game, which isn't that old in comics.
No,
really.
No, right, exactly. I love good Daily Planet stuff, and this had good Daily Planet stuff. It was so little of it that I would love to get more. But it was great. Like what we like. It was the right vibe. It struck the right tone. Everyone has been saying it, but like if you're going to get Wendell Pierce to be Perry White, like use him more.
Use Wendell Pierce.
Wendell Pierce. So like absolutely want to see more of that. I would also love to see like maybe we'd go deeper on the Krypton story of what really happened. Like Kara is around. We can find out, like, did they send him for this or not?
James Gunn did say he said flat out, he said, I'm not going back to that. Well, he said, I told the story I wanted to tell. It is real.
Fine.
If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but
I'm fine with that.
Which I'm okay with too.
I'm okay with it.
I don't think he had an idea how like strongly people.
I think he is surprised at that reaction. Yeah, I'm a little surprised too. I mean, it is like, yes, it is a change, but it feels so. I don't know. It just feels so innocuous to me.
Maybe because we're used to Evil Jarrell on Smallville. I don't know. If
I guess, yeah. It's not the first time I've seen it. Like,
right. It has been in the comics previously, not necessarily totally evil, but I think people are used to like saintly Kryptonians, like, how tragic, their planet blew up, and which is fine, but I don't necessarily mind that he like isn't comfortable with their philosophies and
sure,
whatever else. Like, that's okay. The point is that he makes his own choices, and that things are not decided for him.
Yes.
And what people want for you is different than what you want for yourself, and like that's okay.
Yeah,
like that's a fine message, and that's not anti-Superman really in any way. Right. So it doesn't really bother me. I understand why it does, but I understand why it does bother people. But it's just, I think what I find hilarious is that it was like saint in the DCEU, it was like saintly Kryptonians basically, and then murder Superman.
Yeah.
And in this one, it's like, this is like the reverse of that.
Yep.
In some way. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, if I'm going to choose between the two of them,
exactly.
Like, I'd rather have Jor-El not be great.
Yeah.
And Superman be great. Like, I'm sorry. I'd rather, if we're going to character assassinate somebody, I'd rather not have it be Superman.
Sorry, Jor-El.
And I'd also rather not have it be the Kents.
Yes, right.
Those are my choices between like those groupings. Sorry, the L's lose.
Yeah,
they just do.
Yeah, Agreed. Yeah, I think it was so important that he got the Kents right, and that he got Superman himself right, and that he got Lois right, and he did. I really feel like he did, and it seems like audiences tend to agree, in large part. So yeah, I have heard hardly a negative word about this movie. Like
I've heard really nitpicky,
nitpicky.
But nothing like I've rarely heard any. But it was bad. And the people who I have heard say that it was bad, one, I know they haven't actually seen it yet, and two, like it's just not their taste, which is fine. Yeah, which is fine. But I wouldn't say that it's bad by any stretch. I think it has too much good in it for it to be bad.
I think a lot of people felt like it has just too much in it, period. Like it's a little overstuffed, which is a fair critique, I think. There is a lot stuffed in there, but I think it worked. I think they did a really good job of there's a lot of exposition. The more that's the one thing I'll say. The more I rewatch it, the more I realize how much exposition dialogue there is. There is quite a lot of it.
Yep.
And
it's not really a character piece. Like
right.
Apart from Superman, it is not really a character piece.
Right.
Everybody is there to perform a very particular function, and they might fit to the characterization that we know of them from the comics, but they are there. Everybody is there to serve Superman.
Yep.
But the movie is called Superman.
Precisely.
So I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't care that the traditional supporting cast is supporting.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Like that's what they do.
That's kind of their thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You just don't like. I don't watch a Batman movie and go, they didn't really explore Alfred's backstory more.
Right.
Because he is a supporting character. Yes, he has a backstory, but he has that through almost 90 years of comics.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you have 2 hours, you have to leave stuff away.
Yes.
You just don't have the time for it.
Yes. So
yeah, I don't know. I like the Star Wars model thinking.
Yes.
Like if you don't know who Mr. Terrific is, tough. You will learn. Like,
and that's what they did, and it worked.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it. If you don't know what a Jedi Knight is, tough. You will learn.
You'll figure it out.
Like, yeah, we will tell you enough. I mean, but if you watch that first Star Wars movie, it's really exposition heavy, obviously.
For sure.
But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, even though it's heavy exposition, the characters are still likable, even though they're also all there to serve the function of getting Luke to where he needs to go at a very particular moment.
Yes.
Not even Han or Leia in the same way. Like Leia, the most static character in Star Wars.
Yeah.
She starts strong, she ends strong. If anything, she gets like slightly gooier as it goes on. She actually loosens up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's it. But everybody's there to serve Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
That is the point of the narrative. And here it is with Superman again. So yeah, no complaints from me.
I'm interested to see how they use him as a supporting character for others, like in other films.
Mm-hmm. We've seen Superman be supporting character previously.
Yeah.
Not just I'm thinking specifically in the Supergirl TV show.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
He was a supporting character.
Yeah.
Right. He is not
2-episode stint, Tyler Hoechlin, that turned into a 4-year series of his own.
Right, which was great. Truthfully, like I still think about when he first shows up and he like shows up in the DEO and he's just like very chill, walking around, saying hi to everybody. That to me is still peak Superman. Like he knows he's the strongest person or the most powerful person in the room, and he is unbothered.
Yeah,
and there is not an ounce of hubris in him.
That's what Tyler is so good for that role.
He was really stupendous.
I'm so glad we got to watch him play that role for more than just a few episodes.
Me too.
Yeah.
And in a different capacity than we normally watch Superman too.
Yeah.
He like has this little corner all to himself, Superman the parent, which is great. But as a supporting character, he was great. And so Superman is versatile like that.
Yes.
What I don't think we said previously, which I don't know where you go with this necessarily in a sequel of any kind. But this movie is very much a movie about people making mistakes and then owning up to those mistakes and then apologizing for them and moving on. And the people who don't do that are the antagonists, right? And they get their comeuppance where they can't recognize the flaws within themselves and they do not apologize for who they are. But I liked that it's basically everybody in the core and supporting cast. It's Superman, it's Lois, it's Jimmy, it's Eve. It's there's so let's see, Clark, Lois, Jimmy, Eve. Lex obviously makes mistakes but doesn't apologize. The dictator guy whose name I cannot remember.
Gurkos.
But yeah, Gurkos doesn't apologize. No. The Justice Gang makes mistakes and like amends it in their own way. So like I do enjoy that as an undercurrent. This movie is not like he says in his big speech at the end, but I'm not perfect, and whatever else. But I wonder where you go from there. Because now that we've established that he knows he makes mistakes, he will obviously continue to make them.
Right.
But so then like what is the trajectory.
Yeah, I feel like the temptation is to go to like make the scope bigger and bigger. Go to Darkseid, go to Doomsday, go to those. But I don't think that's the right move.
Nope, I don't think so.
I think you want to keep it pretty grounded. I think you want to keep it pretty. You went to all this trouble to make him so human, right? Like I think you need to play in that space for a little bit.
Yep, I agree. You could play in the Bizarro space.
Yeah, could.
You could play in Earth 3 space with the like Ultraman and whatever. But truthfully, I think Earth 3 falls flat unless you also have the other members of the Justice League.
Yeah.
In there, like so, I'm not really feeling that necessarily.
Yeah, no, I don't, and I hear you on the Bizarro thing, but I don't know. I feel like I don't need. I'm fine with him just going off in the black hole and like that's
the end of that.
That's the end of that.
I don't really like Bizarro. I find Bizarro stories rather dull.
Yeah,
personally.
kind of. I feel like I've seen enough of them now that I'm like, I don't know if there's anything new you can really do with them.
No, you could do it for a new audience. But I as a comic media consumer have seen a lot of Bizarro over the years.
Yeah,
I'm good.
But
I've yet to see a live action Brainiac.
Right. Well, Krypton. But
I have yet to see a big screen.
Right.
Brainiac. Man, that Krypton Brainiac was great, though.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
That was so great.
That one was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget Krypton.
That show. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping for in future installments. I hope that they come for us. I hope they come to us with relative frequency, and I hope that they can maintain this level of quality and like sort of if they can really weave these movies together into one cohesive fabric, that would be awesome. I would love to see that. Love to see that. Before we say goodbye, I realized a couple of things that I wanted to show here from Cleveland were just I did pick up this copy of Superman 27 that has Superman and Lois in front of the Leader building, which is the building in Cleveland they use as the Daily Planet.
Cool.
So that is the Daily Planet from the film.
You know who the cover artist on that one is? That's a nice picture.
I do not. This is an alternate cover, and I do not know who the cover artist is.
I used my one look up. What's the
Superman 27? Williamson, Barrows, Isaac, Ferreira, and Sanchez. Limited. Yeah. So, variant cover by Jerry Ordway. There we go. Jerry Ordway.
Really?
Yeah.
That's Jerry Ordway.
That's what it says.
I don't really.
Yeah. Look, it says it right here.
I'm looking at it much closer now on my computer. That's definitely Jerry Ordway. Yeah. I apologize.
But he's got
the camera was not picking up the Jerry Ordway.
Fair.
But
he's got the new S, and everything. It is the new Superman. It is David's Superman, but he's in front of the building that they shot the Daily Planet at. So that's cool. And then I did get picked up once I knew I was going to be talking to a couple of creators. I went to a comic book shop and got this copy of Action 1002 for Mr. Bendis to sign, which he did.
Nice.
I also had him sign my Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1 trade. And then I had Philip Kennedy Johnson sign this trade, and I'm going to cover up here because he made it out to my daughter. So I'm just covering up her name. But he wrote for Truth and Justice, Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Cool.
We talked about how I really liked his take on the Kent's parents. And so he was like, do you want to make it out to your daughter? And I was like, that's really nice. Sure. She won't read this, but sure. Why not? I like the idea.
One day she might.
I showed it to her today. She was very confused about what I was saying because she's 3 and doesn't understand.
She was like, why would I care that somebody scribbled something I can't read?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And And then last thing, Cena Grace shared this, what I think is a very cool, it's like his sketchbook.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a sketch, and he did doodle and autograph this for me. But it is this beautiful sketchbook. So this is from July 2022, and it just shows how he, like, it's just like his concept art for Superman Harvest of Youth.
Cool.
It's nice. It's really cool. It's like, you see this in the back of a trade sometimes, where it's like, here's the concept art and whatever. But I've never seen it published like this in its own little pamphlet, as a straight up, like, here's the sketchbook / journal for this piece. So that was very, very cool. I had not seen that. And yeah, so those are some of my my souvenirs from Cleveland. That and this shirt, which is Cleveland, birthplace of a superhero. That's from GV Designs.
And the classic Superman.
Yes.
Pose.
Yeah. I guess that's Superman #1. Did also visit Jerry and Joe's homes.
Cool.
Joe's home is no longer there, but the site where the house was is still there, and there's a picket fence all around the house that has every panel of Action Comic #1 all around the house, which is very cool. And Jerry's house is the original house, and it is all decked out, like, it is decked out in Superman stuff, like in the windows and on the outside of the house that people, I think, have left there over the years, and they've gradually added more and more. There's a family who lives there, an older couple apparently.
I hope they like Superman.
There. Yeah, apparently they're very. I didn't get to go inside. They weren't home. We were going to try and go inside, but we did meet our neighbors across the street who were lovely. So that was that. But anyway, it was super cool. People were so nice in Cleveland, and they saw.
Joke, but I have heard that. That's
it's true. Yeah. And, like, 8 grown men walking down the street in Superman t-shirts, and people came to us and were like, "Did you know they shot the movie here?" And we're like, "Yes, that's why we're in this building. That is where they shot them." Yeah. Yes, that's why we're here. But thank you. Thanks. It was very, very kind of you to want to tell us. Like,
I mean, they're very
they're very proud.
It shoots in Cleveland.
Very proud.
And it's not just a movie, it's Superman.
Yeah.
Like, I would be proud.
Exactly. So everyone was lovely and very proud. And I hope that, from what I understand, the city of Cleveland has not done a lot of embracing of Superman as a tourist attraction for their city.
That's silly.
Yeah. And I hope that a lot of the events that went on around this movie change that. Maybe people in city government realize, like, oh, we should be making this a thing. Yeah. Like, people will come here to visit the creators' homes and to see filming locations and, like, whatever else. Like, see the statue, if they, when they put it, the statue is supposed to go up August 2nd. So soon.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see those come to fruition.
So is the idea that they already have the statue, and then that the money is to then, like,
they already had, like, an artist. They commissioned the artist to make it and everything. It was, I don't know if they had actually fabricated the actual physical statue yet, but they had the models of what it was going to be and all that.
Have you seen the models? Do you know what it looks like?
Yeah. I've seen it. It's if you go to Superman Statue Cleveland.org. Let me see if I got that right. Superman Statue Cleveland.org. Yep. You can see what they have planned for the plaza. You can see all the... Yeah. There's a statue of Superman himself in flight. There's a statue of Siegel and Shuster, and I believe that's...
Joanne Siegel.
It is Joanne Siegel. Okay, I was going to say, I thought it was Jerry Siegel's wife, because I think she was the model for Lois Lane.
She drew her image as reporter Lois Lane. Jerry, inspired by her charm and fearless personality, shaped Lois into a strong woman who pursued truth and justice. More than a decade after she modeled for Lois, Joanne married Jerry.
Okay, there you go.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
they got, like, in a weird way, they also, like, have Lois in there.
Right.
Like, it's not just Superman.
Right. Yeah.
I love that.
I love it. Yeah.
That's a great statue.
It's a great statue. And I think the little phone booth changing room is going to be a fun addition to it as well. It looks like a really nice little plaza they've got planned, that I think could be a great tourist attraction. I mean, they got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already. I think if you make yourself the home of Superman and rock and roll, that's a pretty lethal combo for any city, tourist wise. So yeah, check it all out. And visit Cleveland. You know, I had fun. There's lots of fun things to do for a Superman fan, especially. Seeing the movie with a Cleveland audience was so fun because they got excited about so many things, about locations and like seeing the skyline and stuff like that. People were getting excited. The best energy of any was the last screening I saw.
That's awesome.
They were just so pumped and so excited and so hyped, and like I got to watch it with family members of Jerry and Joe. Like it was just so cool. I was speaking. I'll end on this. I was speaking to somebody who is I'll just say somebody who's in a authority position at the Siegel and Shuster Society, and they were sort of sharing how they're having a hard time convincing the city to really embrace Superman. And I was like, if that's like, tell them that behind like the Superman logo is the most recognized symbol in the world behind the cross. Like there is the cross from Christianity, and then there is the S from Superman. And those are the two most recognized, like widely considered the two most recognized symbols in the world. And they like were a little taken aback at that, and they were like, and my relative created that. And I'm like, I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty special. And he created it in Cleveland. So like tell them that. You know, like that carries some weight. Like those are the kinds of things that I think, I mean, seeing how many people came out for this, I hope is really the main thing, but like,
sure,
you know, hit them with some knowledge too. Anyway, that was a cool moment of like to watch them realize that like their uncle or whatever created the second most recognized symbol in the world.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just so cool.
And I don't want to say the cross doesn't count, but you're never gonna like top that one.
Sure. Yeah.
Or recognized symbol. Like it's just pretty. And
it wasn't like designed, like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like somebody came up with it as a design. Like it's an actual object that we turned into a symbol, blah blah. But like it's not like somebody said, let's make this our logo for Christianity, right? Like Joe Shuster did with the S.
Like, what should I put on Superman's costume that will stand out?
Right.
That will be emblematic of like the Red Cross for the Red Cross. You know, like what can I do for my character? Boom, here we go. So cool. Every superhero since then has copied that idea. Yeah. But then people wear it on their shirts. They get it tattooed on their arms. They, you know, like whatever. It is just, wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. So that was it was a great experience, and shout out to everyone over at the Siegel and Schuster Society for being great folks. And I can't wait to go back and take my family and go see the statues.
I will go with you.
Cool.
As a member of your family.
Let's go.
I will go. Excellent. Very good. Well, Frank, thank you for taking over this episode of Beer with Geeks. I appreciated listening to you this whole time. This was so nice. I never just really get to like sit back and just like listen to you talk. That was great. Go and do that more often.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
Frank, talk. All right. Good.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
well,
great.
I'll talk about how you can go to beerwithgeeks.com and find all our episodes there and the show notes and find the links to things we talked about, all that fun stuff. You can go to YouTube and watch the show so you can see all my visual aids that I've been holding up and, you know, the poster behind me and all that fun stuff, and Tim's beautiful face. And you can help us out at patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio and help support the show that way. Of course, you can subscribe and rate and review and all that fun stuff in whatever podcast app you use. But yeah, Patreon would be an awesome way to support us as well. So that's it. That's what I got for you this week, Tim.
I love it, Frank. So always a pleasure, Frank. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.